Hey there and welcome. This is a ACF 2.0 4.27 tutorial based on setting up VR and setting up the Upperbody IK. So to get started, go ahead and go into the full sample, click on ACF sample map, load the level. Now that your level has loaded, you will see inside of the world settings, and if you don't have the world settings window open, go down here and click it and it will come straight open. Click on the ACF full player BP and then double click on the BP itself, open it up. Inside of the BP with the mesh highlighted, go ahead and add a scene component. So type scene in, scene will drop down, rename this to VR origin. I'm gonna go ahead and put a 1 there because I already have one. Once you finish that, go ahead and parent on 2 motion controllers. So if you type motion, they'll pop up, and then grab another one. Motion. And we'll name this one _R1, and as you see, it's just R up here. And we'll do this one as _L1. Now that you have that set, go ahead and click on each of the motion controllers, detail panel, scroll down, make sure for your left, it is set to left. Make sure for your right, it is set to right. After that's done, you need to actually do one more step that you're not gonna see here. As you see, I do not have my swing arm, nor do I have my actual camera. I have placed a new camera that is attached to the VR origin. The VR origin is set to eye height on the character itself. The camera is set to be sitting directly on the VR origin. So every time you load in, this is the origin placement that you will be set to. So with that said, let's go ahead and remove that, compile. What we need to do now is we need to trace back to where everything is being inherited, because we need to remove the swing arm and we also need to remove the camera. So we're gonna go to the ACF light. Then we're gonna go to the sample player BP. After the sample player BP, we're going to go into the ACF character BP. Inside of here, attached to, I believe it's a capsule component, you're gonna see down here a swing arm and a camera. Go ahead and remove that. Once you remove that, come back over here if you haven't already and attach your camera. After your camera has been attached, you are set and ready to rock and roll in terms of the player BP. Now we need to go to the mesh and we need to go to where we actually set up our animations. So inside of the animations, you will see that in my animograph, I have set up a few different nodes here. So each of these nodes is done a little bit differently. So this first one is set to world space and then copy target rotation. You need to type in which of the bones you're starting with. So your starting bone will be your tip bone will be your hands. So hand R and hand L. Then you're gonna have clavicle R as the root bone, which is the shoulder. For each of these, you need to set it up as intended. After you do that, you need to set up your transforms. So go ahead and create 2 new variables, naming them MC_transform right, MC_transform left. MC stands for motion controller. Once you've done that, go ahead and drag them out and make sure you do a git and plug them in to the appropriate area. So if it is the right transform, you would be plugging it into the right fabric. If it is the left transform, you plug it into the left fabric. After you've done that, your hand R will be set to 180 on the Z. Your hand L will be set to 180 on the X. After that's done, you need to feed that back into a local component and then attach that to the additive section in the layer blend per bone. This will lead it out and put it back into the movement poses. So this is where all of your movement and different logics will come from. So as you can see, your original state machine, you've got your run, jump start, jump loop, jump end, etc. After you have done that, go ahead and go over to the event graph. Inside the event graph, where it is event blueprint update animation, and then it pulls the parent information. You need to do a is valid, get pawn owner. You need to do a cast to the ACF full player BP because that's where the motion controllers are. It's not in any of these other ones. It's inside of the ACF player BP. So cast to ACF full player BP. You need to come down here and right click and convert this to a pure cast. After you've converted that to a pure cast, you need to target your motion controllers. So what you're trying to do is you were casting to the ACF full player BP and you were saying, I need to get information for a particular component. And the component we're going after is the motion controller left and the right. So motion controller, and you would do a get, and then you would do the same thing for the other one. So now we have these. What do we do with this? Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the world transform. What's going on with it? Why are we trying to do that? Is because that's going to feed the relevant information over to the anima graph right here. So once that's done, go ahead and drag out from here and get world transform for both of those. And then once that's done, what you need to do is, this is the left, so you would drag this out and you would say set, drag this into the set for the left, and then plug in your sets as you see here, which connects to the is valid on valid. After that is done, you're set. Congratulations, you now have upper body IK with VR. You were able to move your arms, you were able to do anything with them, and you will be set stationary within your character. Make adjustments that you need to. Another trick that I have is you go into the mesh, and so there's a few different ways you can do this. So if you had a modular character, you would have all of your body parts, parted out. So you would have a head that's split off from the torso. You could do something like, let's say, skeletal mesh. Let's attach another mesh, and let's grab the horse. Okay, so something you can do here, if you're using again, a modular mesh to where you can remove your head, you can do owner, no C. Owner, C. What these do is it sets it to where the owner of this mesh, if you have this selected, they cannot see the head. So it will not be prohibiting your view. However, if you would like to see something to where only you could see it, like let's say, I don't know, maybe you have like a 3D widget you're trying to pop in there for your player character, which you do need to use for VR, 100%, then you could do owner only see. So again, simple stuff, just little tips and tricks. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I will make this much more extensive later on. I was just getting this out as there was quite a few requests for it, and I have been very busy.